Greetings, everyone. I'm Jim Ryan. I use he, him pronouns, and holy crap! I think we're actually going to be playing the Gold Ruins of Lastlife. I still don't know if I entirely believe it. I'm here, and I don't know if I believe it, but we'll get this thing going. I'm crazy excited because it's been I've had months of pent up frustration against Castle Oblivion, so this is going to be very interesting how this goes. So I'm playing Gregor, the Spectral Paladin, and I've forgotten how to do this, so I'm just going to throw it to Rachel. Hi.
Wasn't expecting that, so I was still on mute. Hi everyone, I'm Rachel. I use she/her pronouns. Today I will be playing Sivna, the hunter / whatever else I multi-classed into last time. And they use they/them pronouns. And they're a bog mummy, because it's important to remind everyone every time.
Bog mummies are awesome. And let us move on to Charlie. Hello.
Hi, I'm Charlie. I play Auden, and she is a frozen mage who doesn't know what's going on.
That's all right. It's relatively. I'm not sure what's going on myself, but we'll figure it out. And in light of that, let us then throw things over to our GM, Mathias. Hello.
Hi, I'm Mathias. He, him. And you can tell by my unshavenness for how long we haven't played. That doesn't really make any sense, but that's okay. Yeah. So, let's get the basics down. Right, we're playing with safety tools. That's a good reminder for everyone. Like we have lines and veils set up. And we have we're playing with the XN and O card. X card is if something comes up that you do not feel comfortable with having in play or in the game, you can X card it. You could either go like that, or say you want to X card it, or do it behind the scenes in chat, and we go back and redo and take the narrative in another direction. End card is should we be like coming up close to a line or something that might feel uncomfortable to communicate to everyone, hey, let's take it a little bit slower, watch out for each other, check in. And the O card is I might be looking like I'm having a hard time, but this is what I'm here for. Can also be used as a query with an O question mark, then affirmative. All right, that's cool with everyone, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
So last time and where we left off was setting up the siege of Castle Oblivion. We've had this is essentially Sivna's warhorse, with Gregor acting as their captain / general, right?
I think so.
We had a big reunion of almost everyone. Only the Legionnaire is missing. And we had the we had the soothing of an angel of vengeance. Yeah, that was kind of incredible that happened the way it went down.
It was the result of a thankfully very good roll on my opponent. So I was happy.
Yeah, also of a gutsy fictional thing to trigger that roll. So it's not all up to the dice, I think. But I think for starters, I'd like to review the bonds that all of you have. So that will catch us up a little bit. And if there's like a thing where you're like, oh, well, that bond sounds strange now, I kind of need to change it, we can still change it now. How does that sound? Who wants to start with the bonds? Who's got the sheet open first?
I have my sheet open right here.
Cool.
So my bond with Auden is that Auden has magic. I will convince her to use it to preserve the autonomy of the people I care about, because once Sivna is gone, when Sivna's gone, the people turn back into kind of mindless zombie-like horde, and they don't want that. My bond with Gregor is that Gregor has protected my people and shown himself to be more reasonable and pragmatic. I may not agree with him, but I will trust his ability to lead, especially in my upcoming absence. So those are relevant bonds.
Cool.
And I wrote them myself. Thank you very much. Very happy with that.
How about Auden?
I remember mine for Gregor was like, Gregor knew the secrets of the kingdom in the time before, and I will get them from him. And then I hadn't settled on a new one for Sibda, because the one with them used to be that they were like they needed to be protected, but that clearly changed, so I don't think I settled on a new one.
Yeah. So that might be a thing to seek out, right? Because it does sound like Sivna has a thing that they want from you.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's a scene you two want, let me know.
Yeah, there's stuff we got to talk about.
Yeah, and so you can think about that if you want to have a scene, or like it sounds more like that would be initiated by Sivna, but we'll see, right? What's Gregor's bonds?
Okay, Gregor's bonds. He does have a bond with a Legionnaire, but unfortunately Legionnaire's not with us right now, so I won't go into detail there yet. Lloyd unfortunately could not be with us. He had a work conflict, but he will. Mayhap he shall return. We shall hopefully have him back. I have bond with Auden. I have died again in Auden's service. She is clearly very important to me. I must find out why. And for Sivna's role in history has been played. Their purpose is good, and I will aid them if they wish, but I will let them and I don't know. Did we resolve this? We might have resolved this one, actually. I forget. It reads, their purpose is good, and I will aid them if they wish, but I will let them and their people remain in the past if that is their desire. I don't know if we actually figured that out or not.
I think kind of.
I think we might have.
With what happened in our last session, 3 years ago, on the dawn of a full moon, my notes are very sparse. But if I recall correctly, our discussion was, we have to unseat whoever sits in the throne.
The old queen. Yeah.
And so there was definitely an agreement as to motive there.
Yeah.
Between the two of us. So even though I said no one's going on the throne because people have right to self-determination.
I think this might be my previous bond. I think maybe I think maybe we resolved it and then I forgot to write a new one. I think might be what happened.
If you want, you can still write a new one. I don't mind. Like if you're mid-session, like I think this is my bond. That's completely fine with me.
I'll try.
It's kind of important if you want to help each other out.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's going to be important.
Also, I'm not sure how many bonds each character of you, like it's different for every playbook. Like I know the bard, for example, comes with 5 bonds. So the bard can like write 2 bonds with one character. So when they help them, they get +2 on the roll. So that's the thing.
I only get 3, I think.
That might be the case, but I don't think specialized characters get less bonds, and more support type characters have more
I'm a
bonds.
very specialized character. Thanks. I'm an amalgamation of 3 different playbooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the. I'm pulling up. I think I only had 3, but I'll take a look at the paladin. And yeah, bonds on the paladin. It says 1, 2, 3. Well, the paladin has 4 available. I only took 3, I think, because there were only 3 other characters. So I think that's why I did that.
Yeah, but you can have multiple bonds with one character.
I was
So
not aware of that. Okay.
yeah. Like
Cool.
all right.
I should bear that in mind.
So I think we had a paint the scene last time about the army, right? I don't know if you all recall that. We went through like the camps and we saw like how an army of undead, how they're set up, and because they don't need to only out of habit maybe sit around a not burning fire or something, right?
Yeah.
And otherwise they just stand there in rank and file and wait. But I think when we come in, we have this flight over Castle Oblivion. So they're getting ready to be besieged. The battlements are armed and manned. Get us back in it. Here's a little description of Castle Oblivion. A towering edifice with parapets and buttresses, with stained glass windows, powerful and strong, impregnable. A magnificent construction, both beautiful and formidable. Its true purpose lost, but one can only imagine that it was the center of a vast kingdom in the days before the end. Now, although all its towers still stand, while its windows are still whole, while the building still seems to have withstood the end, it is a ruin. Denizens of Lastlife feel it, simply upon approach. A place that has outlived itself. A still place, quiet and dusty. So are we gearing up for the assault, or does anybody want to have a scene before that?
So there was sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Or what's your plan here?
So yeah, there was a thing where I wanted to have a scene with Auden, because I'm trying to get at something that it's like I'm just going to address I'm just going to address the thing that you're not supposed to address. So that is the thing. But if others have scenes they want to do first, I can hang if need be.
How and where do you think this takes place?
I think probably in one of the tents.
It's just like kind of just moments after. What? No, we had because we basically have the angel in a like the seraph is like a towering figure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think last we left off, she knelt down and I don't know if she fell asleep or fell into a state of lethargy, kneeling down on one knee. I think that's where she remains.
Okay.
So is it shortly after that you catch Auden?
Yeah, I think it's not too long after that once we've figured out that okay, well that's been sorted sort of for now. I think maybe we've got that's going to be very helpful, and we need to recalibrate our plans so that we can include the Seraph. But I do want to try to catch Auden if she, depending on whatever she's doing.
What is Auden doing? That's a good question.
Honestly, no pun intended. She'd just be chilling, waiting for them to go fight the castle. Like she ain't gonna be doing anything productive.
What would that look like? Like Auden, because right, I can imagine two very different ways. Maybe there's other ways. But is it like actually chilling, or is it like literally chilling?
Oh, chilling. Like I don't know. She'd probably be like just practicing like little bits of magic and.
Does she have like her own? Do you have your own tent?
Huh?
Do you have your own tent?
Maybe.
I mean, you can
Yeah, I feel like she probably would find somewhere to post up.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'd have made sure that I probably would have made sure that she has her own tent, just because of everything that's going on.
So you walk into the sorcerer's tent.
Yeah, yes, nothing dangerous about that.
I mean, is there or isn't there?
That's a good question.
That's kind of a question for Auden, right?
Hey, Auden isn't very dangerous.
Fair, but well, maybe isn't she? We'll find out. So as I'm sort of coming
What
in.
are you planning?
Yeah. No. So I will come in to sort of do my sort of little bow my head for a moment. My lady, may I have a word with you?
Of course.
It is,
bothers you.
Well, it is very soon now that we shall begin planning for our siege. And there are certain, as we're about, and so it is certain that I am going to be, shall we say that we are all going to be rather busy. So I think that before that happens, I must know something. I have tried to serve you as faithfully as I can, and in the course of doing what we have done, I have recovered a number of my memories. But there is still an area of which I am uncertain, I must confess.
What area is that?
The area that relates to you, my lady. I have, as I said, done my best to continue to serve you as best I can, but at the same time there are incongruities with my apparent place in my order. And I cannot remember why I am doing what I am doing. I can, in all other respects, for everything else that is happening, everything that has led us to this castle. That I have covered, I have at least sufficient memory recovered that I have a handle on it. But I understand I am devoted to you, but I would like to know why.
Honestly, I'd like to know that myself. I don't know where.
Sorry.
I don't know where your beliefs of me being a lady and me being someone you need to serve came from, but they weren't true to our previous lives.
Do you remember what I am to you?
No, but I remember what I am. And I was not someone that would ever have anyone serving me.
Are you recalling a lost memory here, or did we establish this already? I'm like asking.
I think we established that she knows that she used to work for her.
Yeah.
Master. Yep. So. Like, she knows that much.
How does that make you feel that Gregor is treating you like this? Noble?
Probably, like, confused and, like, a little bit weirded out, but...
And he seems convinced that you are, right?
Yeah. So I think she's just kind of went along with it, but...
What is the name of that flower? I had it.
Yeah,
you all have... Gardenia?
Gardenia, yes. I think it was a gardenia. Yeah. So, Gregor just sort of... See, he kind of sighs a little bit. He's clearly disappointed. And he sort of looks up. He says, The gardenia, is that not your house symbol? Are you not a noble of that house?
No.
You gave me that weapon. Sorry, go ahead.
I think it was my symbol, but it wasn't a symbol for me. I think for me it would have been a brand.
Do you remember giving me that weapon?
No.
And I think, if I may, Gregor is flashing back and recalling a sliver of something.
Yeah.
And as he's doing this, he's just sort of saying, was there a time when there was something, and I've got, also, please feel free to X this if this is not good. Was there a time when you were either bound or kept somewhere. And I seized that polearm off the wall and cut through the bindings, and then we ran. Did that happen?
You want to find out
enough to roll?
that happened? It's enough from my side, but
Okay.
I want to. You can have a chance to. I don't know, contradict or because you could, if you want to. You feel free to engage with that memory.
I'm like fine saying that happened.
Sure, let's see the roll if it actually did happen like that.
Recall lost memory. Here we go. Nope, way off. It probably means something. Not sure it means what I think it means.
On what do you think? Or what actually happened? Do you want to say? Like, you don't have to say in character if you don't want to.
I think maybe like he saved someone that looked like her, but it wasn't her.
And why would he mistake you for that person? Do you have an idea? But I like that, yeah. I think Gregor. Sorry.
I don't have an idea. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Gregor, you. I don't know. Let's see if you agree with this, but it sounds to me like Auden must just not be remembering right. That she is a noble lady, and you're convinced of this.
Yeah, I think that Gregor is just not sure. Yeah, is not sure she's remembering right because she's claiming not to really remember much aside from who she is. I mean, he's going to trust that this is what she believes.
Yeah. But you know.
But
you know it's different.
It's like I'm pretty sure this happened. I'm pretty sure this happened. I think possibly in reality, if I may speculate for a second, this might have been her employer. That might actually be who that was in the memory. But again, we'll see. But Gregor thinks that it was Auden.
Yeah, but do mark experience if you haven't yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. We do that in this system.
Yes.
And oh dear.
Is that also enough to for either of you to write a bond with the other? If you're still missing one,
I must find out why she's important to me. Yeah, I got like a sliver of something.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm quite there yet, unfortunately.
I think my bond is still fine.
Yeah.
I just looked up at my XP and I don't know if I spent it or not, but I don't think I did. I think I left everything undone at the end, so I'm just going to accumulate XP until an explosion of some kind happens, I guess.
I mean, there is enough time here for you to level up. So if you want to level up in the break in a moment, you can do that.
Sure. We can do that. But that's so I think as far as this goes, Gregor will then be like, it is clear that There is still much to recover. Do you still wish to have a part in this siege?
Yeah, I'm down to fight.
Very well. I appreciate that, as I think it will be much needed. To see to this plan. And he's gonna head out and start planning stuff.
And maybe as Gregor is walking out, Sivna shambles in. And they say, Lady Auden, may I have a moment of your time?
I guess I'm running hours today, of course.
Yeah, so they walk in, don't sit, but stand very lopsidedly because their body is the wrong shape to be a body, and folds their hands across their in front of them, and they say, I require your magic, but not the magic that you've been using.
Whatever do you mean?
I have received vision that I will not survive the siege, and as it was very well made aware, without my presence, these people cease to exist as people. They lose their autonomy. They lose all thought. I need you to find a way to whatever it is about me that makes them alive. I need you to, I don't know, magic it.
My magic hasn't been good for much other than destruction since we've returned. So I don't know if that's in my range of capabilities.
Well, there's always room for surprises, I suppose.
I could try.
I would appreciate it if you would.
But you might not die in this siege.
If I don't die in this siege, I might die later. I might not exist at some point, and then all these people are lost forever.
Wouldn't that be more merciful? Who wants to exist in this plane? In this way?
You're asking me that question?
I know I don't. But we seem to keep coming back no matter what.
I don't believe that a choice of that magnitude is something that I can make for other people.
Well, I'll try. Once you're gone, to see if I can transfer your energy.
They look around the tent. You couldn't try now?
I mean, I don't want to mess it up. And what if I drain too much and we have no chance at all to siege?
Fair enough.
Also, it's probably a lot easier to transfer energy when it no longer has a vessel.
I'm guessing. You're the magic user here. I know nothing of magic.
Also, the nonchalance with which she describes, well, if your vessel is gone, it'll be much easier. Auden, are you bullshitting her, or are you...
Probably like half.
Thanks. Love it.
She might give it a good old college try if Sivna dies, but she's really not that invested in it right now.
Is that noticeable for Sivna?
I mean, Sivna is a people person. A people mummy. A mummy person. Yeah. So I think they would certainly notice that she's withholding something.
Yeah, is that all right with you, Auden?
Yes, fine.
Yeah. Because if we have a conflict, there's a ways to resolve that too. So that's cool. Okay, so there's this tense moment, and Sivna, you're standing kind of right in the entrance of the tent, or just beyond it. And Auden, you're like been chilling. I don't know how did you stand up, or were you?
No, she probably was just sitting.
Like half distracted with doing something else, or with your full attention for Sivna?
Full attention, because I mean she just had Gregor in there talking to her, so she was.
Yeah. So we kind of have this pregnant pause at that moment, right? Where Sivna's like, you're not completely behind that. But neither of you is saying something.
I think Sivna does say something, which is, this might not matter to you, but these are the people that I lived by, that I fought by, that stood by my side, and so it means a great deal for me in order to see them continue to persist in this world.
I just think that your idea of my magic has been vastly overrated.
Magic is magic.
Yes, but we're not all on the same playing field. We don't even all have the same type of magic.
But you mentioned that your magic before and your magic after weren't the same. So there's a possibility of returning to that kind of magic.
There's a possibility, but I don't know if it'll happen. I've tried, but I can't seem to conjure it.
Have you really tried?
Yes, of course I've really tried.
Then do it now and prove it to me.
I don't really perform on demand.
Some kind of mage you are, then.
By all means, you can find another.
I can't, actually.
Well, then you're gonna have to take my word for it that I've tried. Maybe once your energy's all out in the open for me to snatch, I can Perform miracles again.
I don't like your tone.
Well, you played your hand, and you've already revealed that I'm the only mage you got, so you're gonna have to deal with my tone.
Yeah, they're really not happy. They're used to getting their way, and they don't like this.
Sucks to suck, Sidna.
Yeah. I think they're gonna fold their arms and say, well, if I'm gone and all these people turn into a shambling mass again, and you are in some kind of danger, I hope that you get what's coming to you. So thanks for your help. And then they leave.
Nice. I have a question here.
Yeah.
The question is for Arden. Do you know what would it take to get that done? That what Sivna actually wants. Like, let's set aside if Arden is currently capable of doing it or not, and all that stuff. Does she remember what it would take?
I think she would think that it would take transferring basically Sivna's life force into another living source.
And that's the only way to ensure Sivna's followers retain some kind of unhallowed state after they're gone?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Is that some... Yeah. Yeah, roll recall a lost memory for me, please.
Righty.
And
not bad.
You get to choose.
I think incomplete. Not inaccurate.
Yeah. Yeah, so Arden thinks this might be the only way to do it, but there might be another way. Or there's something else that needs to happen. It's not just the transference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You remember how to take your memory? Dot. It's the
Is
lower.
that the gold one?
It's the red one.
Oh.
You almost need to study runes for your last gold one to get a level up in that. It's right click on the beads and then multi-sided choose side. Yep, got it. And I think this is the last shot of that scene is on looking at the tent flap that's basically flaps back in place as Sivna has slunk out of the tent. Yeah. Gregor? Oh, I thought you wanted to say something.
Oh, no, sorry. I unmuted just in case there is a thing coming where I will need to say something, but I did not know.
Yeah. So here, is there something else that any of you wanted to do before before the assault.
Well, I think the thing that you should always do before doing an assault is checking out what you are assaulting and figuring out like a best plan of attack.
Mhm.
So if it's possible, I think that yes,
Like there's
Sivna
a
would probably join or like lead a scouting party of like very clandestinely around the wall and battlements of because you said the door was open, correct?
yes.
Of Castle
Front
Oblivion.
gates are a gaping hole of darkness, basically.
Mhm. Wonderful. So Sivna is looking for any like weak points or other ways of access that don't seem so, how do you say, trapped?
If I'm aware that Sivna is going to do this, I will send a couple of our best people with them, so that we can ensure that they are protected.
Sure. Yeah, I think you do this stealthy surveying of the enemy's battlements, and we might come in on there's a small rise on this side that serves. Well, that kind of serves well as an overlook or overview point. But I imagine it's probably Sivna's down down on the shriveled belly, crawled forward to surveying. Like you get a really good look over here.
Yeah. Should I roll study the ruins?
Yeah, please.
I can't see what I got. 14.
That's 14.
Yeah, it's because I'm really good at wisdom. My first question is, how could I take control here? Or maybe I should ask what here is vulnerable to me first.
I mean, both are for the assault. I'm just thinking about how to word this.
Okay.
And how deep we want to get into those details. Because what I'm thinking here is I want to go to a break in a moment.
Okay.
And I'm going to leave all of you the opportunity to basically say how the assault is going to work or how you're going to make it work, right? So when you ask me the question, how could I take control here? I'm hearing, okay, how can you basically take control of the battlements, right? What's the best way to besiege them and take control of them? And I think that's you're getting that the lay of the land here, and whatever you pick afterwards as well, this is how we're doing this. The assault is going to be the correct answer.
Okay.
Right. It is definitely not walking in through the front gates. But you have two other questions.
Yeah. I guess what is about... Oh, dear, that went way too far up because... Oh, geez Louise. What is about to happen? Like, as far as, like, the way that this is... I think Simna is coming across this question is, like, what is going to happen after we launch an attack? Like, what's their kind of plan?
Yeah.
What if they got up their sleeves?
Mm-hmm. So what you notice is kind of unlike your undead, they are very much following like to a T how live people would be manning the battlements, right? They have like changes in guard shifts. This wouldn't actually be necessary for any of you, that they light torches and things like that. So they seem to have a very routine down in this. They will be fighting back. And if the assault is successful, they will be pulling back. You can quite easily tell into the inner chambers, which, if you're looking at Castle Oblivion correctly and judging everything correctly, and we can safely assume that you are, that's directly where also the front entrance would lead into.
Mm-hmm.
There's a third question.
Yeah. I would think I would say what here is wrong or strange.
So it is a castle, not a I think you get this feeling that the whole structure, that whole building is kind of fraying at your mind. Your gaze keeps being drawn to that front entranceway. As if it wants to lure you in. And as if it wants to take from you who you are. But it's not personal. It wants to do that to everyone who enters. To take their memories. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I suggest we take our break now. But before we do, when we come back, I'd say let's jump into the actual siege and the assault. So think about how you're assaulting it and what are you doing to assault it. Because we can then wrap that into like direct action in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
All right. Cool. So we'll go ahead and take a quick break, and then we shall return. We shall see you back here shortly. We are returned. We have been plotting an assault.
Yeah. And before... Yeah. So I think when we come back, we hear like horns blaring, and we get this right, your army setting up, marching upon the walls.
Mm-hmm.
And we see like the folks on the battlements getting ready and all that stuff. But then we apparently cut over to underground, to the battlement, to the catacombs. That's what I heard, right?
Yep.
That's the plan of attack. And because this came up, right, that's completely cool that none of the players are maybe military strategists, because you don't have to be, because your characters are.
Yay.
So we can just assume they are competent in this.
The assumption of competence. Amazing.
I mean, Gregor and Sivna have done this kind of stuff before.
Yes.
Yes.
So whatever plan you have is going to be a sound one, at least. It might still hit unknown factors, but we'll see about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're saying, and I can't remember if we said on stream, but just to clarify, we're sending a couple of prongs of main army to assault the castle from outside, whilst we have a strike team go in of like 10 or fewer people through the catacombs to get in, because last episode Gregor remembered there's a way through. So that's we're going to come up and take him by surprise from the inside before dying horribly.
Oh, well, here's the thing. If you die horribly, you just zap back to the camp.
That's true. I mean, death isn't what it used to be.
That could be the tagline for this game. Cold Ruins of Lastlife. Death isn't what it used to be.
Yeah. So what does this look like down underground? Is that all three of you are in that strike team, right? Is that correct?
I believe so.
Auden is there too?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah. So I think we... Sorry, go ahead.
So you three and... Sivna, you said...
Oh, I would have taken Alva and Klain with me.
Yeah.
4, 5, and so...
Who's taking point on there?
So...
I mean, probably Sivna, because they have really good, like, eyes. Which I'm like saying, like, that's like wisdom, right?
Yeah.
It's like observational skills. So they're probably like, it's probably me and Gregor right at the front, because I'm good at knowing where things are, and you're good at having already known where things are.
Yeah.
You have the memories. Yes. I have the expertise.
This is true. We can do this. We can win. I've also brought the same two folks, the same two Templar type folks that I sent with Sivna to make sure that they were okay. They're also coming on this one, and so that brings us up to like 7. Do we want any more, or? Do we
I think that sounds fine in the sense of the right number of people to achieve the strategic objective that's set out. And that objective is to basically enable the main force to take control of the battlements. And true enough, where Gregor remembered the entrance to the catacombs is where it is. But doesn't take long after you've entered them, the Sivna, that you realize this is way less straightforward. Finding your way through the catacombs is not going to be thing that solves itself. So you probably have come what is kind of a fork in the road, and you follow each of those hallways down a little further to determine, okay, where does it take us? What's the right way to take here? Because time is of the essence, right? If you hit too early, well, that's probably not that big of a deal. But if you hit too late, then the main force might not have the punching power anymore. What I suggest we do is just repurpose the Traveling Ruins move, because it's basically the Labyrinth move. What I suggest, though, is on a hit, you already get the 2 holds on a 10+, not just on a 12+.
Wonderful. Can I get basically assistance, because I'll roll it, but it'll count as assistance from Gregor.
Yeah.
So we'll add a +1 to that.
You need to roll for help.
Okay. Aid or interfere?
Yeah, aid. Yeah.
Okay. And you need. Okay, yeah, here we go. I shall roll that.
Please be a good number.
Let's find out. 8. So
Yeah.
I should have rolled with Bond. I didn't roll with Bond, but that's all right. That still would have been a 9. They take +1. I also expose myself to danger, retribution, or cost.
How are you helping, though? Like, what's this look like?
Well, some of it is I'm like just remembering the different ways through. I think, and when I long ago came down here with somebody, and we sort of ended up down there, so that is a good part of it. Also, it's just by dint of like my trying to remember, which way is the least one to take for Sivna to get taken by surprise. So like just making sure I keep in mind any potential pitfalls that might be up ahead, that kind of thing, and sort of like, yeah, okay, it's like I think this is here, and then after another 20 yards, it's going to look like it turns to the right, but you actually want to go left, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you basically where Sivna's working off of their
exceptional sense of direction.
Yeah, exactly. Innate ability to navigate. You're the one giving commentary. That's what I'm hearing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the color commentator. Whew.
Yay!
That was a very useful +1.
Yeah. So, and we said you get 2 hold.
Yeah. On a 2 hold, I do not have the Traveling Ruins.
It's on the handouts.
Yeah.
The very last one. On a hit, describe the path you take, and the party holds 2 in this case. And I'll have a little interjection, but let's hear what do you think this path looks like?
Yeah, I think it's definitely Gregor is giving input. So I'm like leading us in the direction that we need to be going, but he's putting us in that like the valuable input when we come to these like confusing places where there's like a crossroads, or there's like collapsed area here. So he's like, this is how we get around it. Yeah. And
because these are catacombs, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're like filled with, what do we think how people are buried here? What's this look like? Is this like small little like stone doored rooms, or are we thinking this is like, if you're thinking like the catacombs of Paris, where like everything's like...
See, I was thinking like one of the like barrows in Skyrim, where there's like little vaults carved into the walls.
Yeah, and there's like a person lying in there, or
yeah.
I'm thinking of something not unlike that, where there's that, and my thought was that you get some basically the richer your family is, the bigger a room you could afford type deal. So like, there maybe some are going to be in better appointed sort of like tombs down here, but most of the folks we're going to pass are going to be like on shelves, sort of the open shelf thing.
Yeah, and I think like there's some urns too.
Yeah.
And there's like, very often there's like a small little hallway that leads off the main path, and it often just spirals in on itself, and is like, well, this is an entire family or an entire lineage. They were all buried here. And I think there comes a point where, as you're passing one of those, Gregor, you suddenly stop. Because above the little archway that leads off to one of those dead ends, basically, for your intents and purposes, they have like old plaques, like something inscribed in stone or something like that, and like catches your attention because it's in whatever script it is written in, it seems awfully familiar.
Okay, so I'm like, as we get in here, it's like, yes, this is right.
Yeah, and I think like Klein is like moving past, following Sivna, right? While you stopped, and I don't know if you've thought about this. But do you have an idea for Gregor's last name?
Oh, good Lord. I did not think about it, but I can conjure one.
You don't need to right away, but it's like takes a moment. That's the name that's written above the archway that you're like not going into, but you're passing.
You just sort of blink, and I look at it, and I think one of the questions is that in my mind here is, does Gregor recognize that it's his name?
I think that much you do. If you want to remember anything more, then it'll be a roll. My question is more of the kind, how heavy does this hit you?
I think it's...
And I'm almost thinking, do I need to ask you to roll Defy Danger Constitution?
Maybe. Yeah.
But I'm not quite sure, because it's not 100% if this is a danger, but if we want to find out how much...
Well, I think that... okay, yeah. So, real talk here. There is a chance that Gregor's spouse and child might be in here. And because there clearly was a hint that he was talking to some member of his family. He was reading to someone who was probably a child of some kind. They could have been adults, could have been other. But
wait a second, I've got how we resolve this.
Okay.
Because let's make it about like your agency, right?
Okay.
The danger here is you might be caught up and recall a lost memory, and then I want to hear about exactly what you were almost diving into.
Yeah.
You can give yourself over to that and just recall the lost memory. If you say, no, that now is not the time.
Yeah.
You can definitely defy danger constitution to like be stoic and say, I fuck this. Let's continue down the path.
I'm gonna defy danger because he's got a job to do. He can come back down here and look at it later.
If anybody wants to help, there's like multiple ways to help here, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like Sivna being like,
You turn, you actually just sort of see that there's like a tear glistening in the corner of his eye as he's looking at it for a moment like he's about to remember something.
yeah, they probably grab your arm and is like, I need your guidance. Come on, pick up the pace.
All right, let's try it. Let's see what happens.
Well, I have to roll to aid or interfere, right?
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
That because this is the cost that I'm demanding for Gregor's help. But you rolled a 10.
Okay. So do I take a +1?
Yes.
All right. All right. I'm gonna defy danger using Constitution. You said.
Yes.
All right. Ooh. Well, if I get a +1, then that's a 7.
Oh, okay. You didn't add it. Okay. Well, then that's a 7. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't add it. I'm sorry. I keep not knowing how to use the sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. So I should have added it on there. But I've got defy danger down here, so I will look and see what it means.
So here's what happens.
Yes.
Like you realize you're bordering on that verge of, and I think all of you know by now that sometimes when you like recall a lost memory, because usually it doesn't really matter, a lot of time can pass and you get really lost in that. So you're verging on that. But I think you... Yeah, I think you can... And at once, like there's this need to go check up on them. And if they're still there. Well, who knows who them is? You just know they are there. And you care for them. But you can let yourself be pulled along with Sivna. Mm-hmm. But it will leave you confused. So you would have to mark that debility.
Ooh, okay.
That's...
Where do debilities go?
It's the little check mark under wisdom. That's the one.
Wisdom confused. Yeah.
Okay, so you let yourself be pulled along.
Yeah, I'm like, you're right. Yes, you're right. It's not for now. That's the past. That's the past.
But they're down here, and you'll have that in the back of your mind, going forward. Yeah. So either like long distance or time away from that. Some other kind of soothing, or actually later coming back down here to visit will remove the debility.
Okay.
Okay. But your path takes you onward. And you make good headway. You also don't meet any resistance down here. But your point is to come out at a place where it's most opportune to strike the ones holding the battlements in the back. So I think we need the next roll for the traveling ruins part. Unless you want to spend a hold to come across something valuable down here.
Nah. Do I still get that +1 from before, or should I just roll the same?
I think because you also still should get +1 that we didn't use last time from your study the ruins one, so you can use that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boop, boop. Sorry, I rolled it twice or something. I made
It's fine. It's a 12 again.
So I got 4 hold. Very sexy.
So you got 4 hold. So now it's getting interesting. You could actually spend a hold to find something valuable.
And I am.
The neat thing is, it's all up to you. You tell me.
Well, here's the thing. Is we're in catacombs. And the thing about catacombs is that people are buried. And people tend to be buried with items that had some significance to them in life that were, good and powerful, or like neat things. So what's happening is, well, does anybody need anything? Is going to be my first question. Is anyone in need of a weapon or anything?
I had trying to remember what happened with my weapon situation. I think I ended up grabbing one from someone else.
Well, how about let's just find you a wonderful. What was your original weapon? Was it like a halberd?
Yeah, it was a halberd. It was.
Well, how does an axe sound?
Axes sound wonderful.
A battle axe. A 2-headed battle axe, like a big boy, and it's intricately engraved.
How do you find it, or why do you find it? Like, why are you like, wait a second, that grave we need to check out.
Well,
I remember the guy.
It's not a grave. It's that someone. It's like obvious that we are like passing through someone's chamber.
Yeah.
Like we're taking a shortcut instead of going through all the hallways. We're passing through someone's like formal burial chamber, and they have like basically like a mannequin almost that's been like dressed up in all this ornamental armor and like nice stuff, but you can tell that it's more decorative and expensive to like as a show of wealth. But then the mannequin is holding this battle axe, and the battle axe is the real deal. And I mean, it's just as expensive and intricate, but the sharpened edge of the blade, like there's no light down here, but even in the absence of light, it's glinting. So I rip it off the mannequin and I give it to Gregor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. He was looking at it. And the thing is, this is also going to mess up Gregor slightly because, to a certain extent, because of the fact that he was already questioning his place with Auden having given him his previous weapon. So now with this. No, there's no winning. There's only misery. There's
only
misery.
Servitude with you, Gregor. Jeez Louise.
But it's. I think I'm going to look at it and be like, this is. And given where we just were in the tomb, in the catacombs, I don't know if this makes things better or worse. But I guess for the time being, it's just like, this will do well. I thank you. Thank you. And just sort of experimentally swing it a bit, and then just sort of haul it up and attach it wherever it goes on the armor, and keep going as though fortified.
And we've got our hold to appear where we want to.
Yeah. You can tell me how that goes or looks like as well, if you want. I'm pulling up the stats for your battle axe in the meantime.
I don't know how catacombs work when they're attached to places.
I think you can assume that you probably left the catacombs and you're like now in what's like regular castle cellars.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I think because here's my question is like, so I think, I don't know about the catacombs, but in my mind, they're like culturally significant to this area where everyone is buried in the catacombs regardless. And so there's like a royal chamber kind of thing. So as like we're making our way through, there's like more and more like noble families, these, spiraling kind of places, and like more and more riches and more like ostentatious stuff on display. And then we break through like a rickety wall, and then we're in like the place where the royals are buried, and they're all in like coffins, like whatever the church is in England where they put all their royalty. With like their like hands templed on top of their chests. It's very like.
So this would probably be like a chapel. Because of that. Because they usually bury them in like a church of some kind.
Yeah, so I think it's like we like walk up these like steps from underneath, and then we like push up through gravestones, and like stones on the floor, and like shove them aside, and there's like scraping, and then we crawl out into this chapel, and there's light streaming through like these big like not bay windows, that's the wrong thing, but like these huge Gothic windows. How about that? Stained glass. And there's dapples of color on the floor, but also like places where the glass has been shattered. There's like clear white light.
And the strange thing is, in front of basically the graves you've crawled out of.
Desecrated.
Yeah, people like there's little bowls with like a floating candle in there, like as if someone had come here very recently to pay respect towards the dead and put up a basically a grave candle, right? There's like it's rotten, but it looks like it's offerings. I guess if someone had come here to pay their respect to the ones that have passed. So there's like even a little candle light inside here.
Huh.
Since we are passing into the castle itself, I'm going to take a moment, just a moment, and I'm going to pass my hand along the side of the axe, and tracing the symbol of the Eidolon in the air next to it, and I'm going to attempt to cast a thing upon it where I'm going to use magic weapon.
Nice.
Or attempt to. Oh, this is going to go badly. This is wisdom. Why did I not up my wisdom? What's wrong with me? Too late. Actually, it wouldn't have mattered. All right.
It's a 7.
Yay! And that's already factored in with it because it's up there. So yeah. All right. Yeah. So I either draw and welcome attention, or distance you from your deity, or spell is revoked.
Apologies about the line breaking copy paste things.
Oh, no worries.
That was annoying.
I think what I will do is, yeah, I think that this will be like the only shot that I have with it until I commune again. I'll go ahead and take it away, but it's because because the Eidolon is like, wait, this is a stranger's axe. What are you doing with this axe?
What does the spell actually do? I don't remember.
So the spell itself, he says, going back to this thing here. Wonder if it shows if I click it. It does. It does plus 1d4 until I dismiss the spell. And
Yeah.
while it's ongoing, I take -1 to cast another spell. So if I want to avoid that, I'll have to drop it. But right now,
Do we see something? Is there an effect that goes with it?
yeah. So like this little pattern, just sort of again, this pattern that looks like a little stellar constellation, finds the places in the axe's engraving where they can sit, and you see these lines being drawn, just sort of these little glowing lines drawn on either side of the axe's blade. And so part of the axe is now glowing dimly. It flares up at first, and then it goes back dim, so that it's only visible if you're kind of looking for it. But it's now there, and it courses with more power. The power of the Eidolon.
So what I'm imagining is now that you're looking out, like kind of hunkered down, looking out of this crypt onto this courtyard behind the battlements. Is that correct? Does that feel right?
Yeah, I think we're on our way up to the
yeah.
chapel itself, and you should be able to get to that through the courtyard. Yeah, so that sounds good.
And we hear those horns again now, like distant or like cut off because they're or muffled. But you see those people on the battlements on this side spring into action, right? And like getting into position to fire bows and letting the first of them fly. What do you do?
Well, I think now is the time to take them unawares and go plowing into them. I think to get them from this side. Yeah. Or at least that's what I'm thinking of for my character. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll my move Skirmisher that I got from one of the playbook that I ended up taking. So it's whenever you enter a fight.
So does this mean you're the one who kind of takes command here and points out like that's the point of attack. We gotta hit those 3 over there to get to it, or
basically it gives me moves where I can like fiction. What is it? In the fiction it means I take my withered foot / boot and I kick out one of the panes of like shatter like this whole window of
all right
glass.
Yes.
And draw my bow and like
yeah.
So I think
awesome.
Basically at your signal when you're ready, I'm going to command those I'm bringing with me to charge, and I'm also going to use. I have this move. When you lead the charge into combat, those you lead take +1 forward.
Yeah, well, I'm not charging. I'm staying exactly where I am.
Oh, no worries.
You're the one directing, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
What did I roll? Oh, I rolled an 11. I hold 3.
Nice.
So I can
So
spend.
during the battle. Yeah, you can spend it during the battle whenever you need to.
Yeah, I'm just gonna write down my hold. Very, very fun. So it just means that I can change what people are doing and make them safe if I want to.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, what does this charge look like? Gregor, you're going for it, right?
Yeah, so like I'm the head of the wedge.
Yeah.
And there are like, I would say, and I can't remember, we brought up like 7 people, so I'll have like at least 2 more behind me. I want to make sure we have at least 1 person staying with Sivna. But then we can, the rest of us can start heading forward, and of course Auden can be wherever she desires to be. She, I think, does more from afar, if I remember correctly, but can also, wherever she wants to, sort of best tactically hit at them.
Okay. Yeah, the way we're going to deal with this is there's going to be like many enemies, but you're also a group, and you have the element of basically the surprise and getting to choose who you're attacking. Keeping up momentum will be kind of key for you here. But it does sound like a straight out hack and slash. I can already tell you the way to think about the however you want to narrate is like any one of these soldiers will have 3 hit points. So feel free to because like what your dice will be for damage. Just roll from one enemy into the next. You don't need to focus on one single enemy, right?
Okay.
In this case.
Cool. So yeah, basically, this is. If that's the case, let's see. What is my damage? My damage is D10. Okay. So
yeah, exactly. Plus D. What are you getting?
This is going to be a D4. Yeah.
Extra. Yeah.
So all the damage ever. So if I get anything other than snake eyes on this roll, basically, then we're good. So let's see. So hack and slash.
That's a 13.
Is 13. Yeah. Do your
It
damage
gives you
and avoid their attack at your option. You may choose to do plus 1d6 expose yourself. Now I'll just take the d4. So my damage is d10.
Yeah. What does this look like? What are you What are you aiming for? What are you trying to get up the battlements? Is I think like the first step, right?
So yeah, as they're getting up on the battlements, I basically will just sort of come forward and lunge my axe forward, catch the last person who's heading up the stairs in the chest with the point, and just sort of throw them to the side and immediately leap forward up a couple of stairs and hack off the next one's head, etc.,
Yes,
etc.
someone has Messi as an attack.
Indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, roll your damage. Let's see what this looks like.
Okay, that's 7 plus another 3, so 10.
Yeah. So I think this means exactly what you meant it to mean, right? They're rushing up there. You're rushing up there, being followed and covered from the sides by your companions that you're leading in the charge. Right. So, like you said, the first one you pull back. The next one you cut its head off. Then
How do you people off to the meat grinder below? And this is
yeah, exactly. So I think you reached the top of the battlements. What are the rest of you doing? Auden, what are you doing?
I think she wants to try to do like a spell like before where she stops them. Like to try to freeze the enemy in the spot.
Like, did you take part in the charge?
No.
Or are you back with Sivna?
She's back.
Okay. Well, there's no immediate danger or enemy close by for you right now, right? And all the attention is drawn to like Gregor's charge up the battlements.
My Cuisinart impression, yes.
So do you two like look at each other and are like, okay, what are you doing now?
You talking to me because I was very distracted.
Oh, sorry, because Auden is back with you there. That's what I was asking. What are you basically doing?
She's made very clear what her opinions are about me, so I'll let her do whatever she wants to do.
Well, someone's salty.
Well, yeah.
I think Auden would like just kind of shrug and then try to like go in behind Gregor.
So, in like a measured, graceful step, you're like walking the cleared path. I like that, yeah. So I think because like the fight is raging on, and Gregor and all the other fighters have pushed up onto the battlements before they first meet like any actual clear resistance. So it gives you a chance to like actually, as you walk up behind them, to actually get a view over what's happening on the other side with the attacking force, but also on the inside of the castle. If you're interested in that, Auden. Are you taking in where you're at and what's happening here?
Yeah, I think she'd be cautious.
Do you want to study the ruins?
Sure.
Because you have the opportunity to.
Sure. I don't see anything.
Well, mark XP.
Yeah, so as you survey what's happening and going on here, and you have a look around, you do have enough time to actually take a look on what's happening on the inside in like in the central buildings of the castle. And there's like a huge spire that that rises up there, and you see something moving along that spire, like as if up from below. It's like crawling up, and it's kind of snaking around the tower. It looks like it's like trying to, like the battle has kind of caught its attention. There seems to be a dragon living.
Oh dear.
Perched on there. And right now it's like clinging onto the spire, and like the battle has gotten its attention.
Auden's gonna start backing out the way she came in.
What, back down the battlements, back towards where the crypts are?
Sivna looks at you, and they're like, "What?"
She's just gonna point at the
Well, yeah. First off, that's like it's like crossing the entire yard back, right? So
the spire.
I don't know if Sifna knows what a dragon is.
I'm also not sure that you can actually see it from here, from down here.
Yeah.
Like, Auden, you were able to see it from up the battlements.
Okay. Well, there's a dragon up there.
And what's a dragon?
Big monster, breathe fire, roar.
It's very encouraging.
Probably not.
Gregor, sorry.
All right. Just end it there.
Gregor, you're meeting resistance on the battlements, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Well, I think now basically is when I need to get. I mean, the fact that they're seeing that hopefully if the part of the signal of that some of the outside force is supposed to start pushing further in is if they see me pop up on the battlements. So I think I'm gonna just start like shoving people off the wall. If I can if I have a moment at some point after I've taken someone's head, I'll just hold it up and just sort of so that everyone can see and know that it's time to come in.
Yeah, and the assault is kind of like relying and trusting that this is going to happen, so they're in place to take advantage of it. But yeah, let's see if you can take the battlements. It does sound just like the next hack and slash here.
All right, here we go. Hack and slashery. Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, roll your damage and tell us how this goes down.
This thing.
I think you can. We can safely assume, probably, with your damage roll, it's not too.
It's not too shabby. It's not great. 7.
I mean, that's fine. Because you have like your other fighters as well. Yeah. I'm rolling then into your roll. So you're taking like this part of the battlements, and there's like a tower again. Then there's the next part. So you've like taken this one, or you're taking it right now. What does it look like?
Yeah. So if we're not quite to the tower yet, or we're about to take the tower.
The section between two towers.
The section between two towers. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. So yeah, basically, I'm using this. So I'm sort of swinging this axe around like a fine instrument in some ways, but then also a horribly messy one when it connects. It looks graceful until it hits somebody, and then the immediate side effect is terrible. So like right and left, I'm like knocking people off to one side and then coming back, swinging around, coming under, and knocking people over the front of the wall, just sort of pushing forward to the point that like just like running forward with the axe pointed down and just coming down on guards as I approach them, hacking off limbs and just sort of slicing them to pieces as I get further and further across. And they probably are. I assume some of them are probably like turning and trying to fight, but I'm just sort of knocking their blades aside, and if they stand their ground, they get pulverized, basically.
Yeah.
So yes, it's like this charge, against this sort of force that I think it's like we stop for a second and then it's like we can keep pushing through and then stop for a second and keep pushing through until we get from one side to the other.
That's like when like the first ladders hit the walls and people of your force actually are streaming on.
Yeah. As we come in, we're like giving them hands up so that they can join us in our conga line, "Oh Death."
So things seem to be going well. As this monster Auden is talking about somewhere.
Auden went back down the stairs, so I don't know anything about the monster.
No.
Yeah.
What you do see is like, and it would be like best described as like a bunch of washing people who are like fleeing, or like they were bringing something to the battlements, and now they're like seeing like that it is in enemy's hands. They're like dropping what looks like a keg of beer and like a basket of food, and they're like just dropping it, and like falls out of the basket, and they're like running across. That's that's the kind of activity you're like witnessing back where you are.
Okay. The activity of these people is really strange to Sivna. And I'm wondering how narratively they would go about figuring out if these people are like dead like they are or actually alive.
Like, you can definitely just grab and stop one of them by the shoulders, one of those civilians. Like, we would understand them.
Yeah, like
that's how they're acting.
I think that's what I end up doing.
And like completely under shock, they turn around and like would stumble backwards unless you're like holding tightly onto them.
Yeah, like definitely like a firm leathery grip on their shoulder.
Yeah. And they're like raising their arms, but you can see rotten flesh and fallen in faces. Like the eyes are long gone. They're just dark pits.
Yeah, I'm gonna let them go and let them scramble away.
Yeah.
Because there was a moment there where they were afraid that these were living people. But that doesn't seem to be the case.
No, they're just behaving like they are. Have you like moved from the place, or both of you? Like,
I think Sivna would like to get to a little bit more of a vantage point so that they can take out, like act as an archer and take out some of the people that can't be reached by melee weapons on the battlements.
Yeah.
And I don't think where we are right now.
No, so basically now you're following up the battlements.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm hearing? Both of you. Or Autumn, where you're like, don't go up there. There's a dragon around. What are you doing?
I think she would go with Sivna.
Okay. And I mean, yeah, right? Because the next task would be to take the actual towers on each side of this part of this segment. So now, probably both Sivna and Auden, you can step into action here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to.
Well, actually, you could also use one of the holds to, if you wanted to.
My holds to boss people around. I'll do that later.
Okay.
Are any of these people surprised or defenseless on the towers?
No, they know their defenses have been breached, so they're trying to focus and like they've given up like minding that their own people might still be on the battlements. It's clear that it's fallen the segment of the wall, and so they're starting to shoot arrows down from the tower onto there.
I suppose what I'm asking is, are they aware of like me coming up from behind and aiming mine? So I'm just wondering if I can
not specifically
use a called shot.
You could definitely do that, yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
But a call shot won't work as like that's actually one shot against one target,
yeah,
right?
You're probably right. So I guess I'll do volley. Volley to hit people. Pew. Pew pew pew.
Yeah, deal your damage.
Wonderful. I just hit the damage point, right? The damage thing. Every time I've done this so far, it's been a D10. Like it's gotten 10. So I'm wondering if my sheet is broken. But we'll see.
Let's see.
Okay, no, we're good. It's 4.
Yeah. Yeah, so one falls, and think a second arrow hits like another one who stumbles back. And what are you doing, Auden? So this is the time where you're like, okay, now I'm like pulling out the magic attacks here. Being flashy, or what are you trying to do?
I think she would just send like a freezing energy towards them.
So you're using black magic here?
Sure.
To actually hurt them?
Sure.
So the way this works is when you weave a spell to inflict pain, choose 2 tags. I think, yeah. You gotta choose. Actually, it's near to make it a ranged thing, right? Yeah. Near, and you get to choose another one. Elemental, it sounds like.
Sure.
Ice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then roll plus int, or like click on the move. It should roll it for you. That's a 7. So you deal 1d8 attack, 1d8 damage, but you also choose 1.
What do I put to do the D's? What's the
/R to roll the damage, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, /R space 1d8.
1d8, yeah.
And then I think I'm going to choose the you draw unwanted attention or put someone in a spot.
Yeah. What's this look like? Like, so 5, right? So you're like definitely hitting 2 other people up on the tower. And I think this is going to, combined with Sivness, going to give enough cover for Gregor, your forces to actually break into the door and start fighting inside the tower.
Oh, yes.
But is this like, what do these ice attacks look like? Is this like,
I feel like it's kind of like almost like necrotic damage, but it just kind of like chills them to the bone.
so is this icy blue energy that flies, or like what do you do? Are you like summoning magic words and?
Yeah, it would be like icy blue energy.
And it's flying from your hands or fingertips?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you do that. And we hear like the door splintering as like Gregor pushes with his forces, pushes into the tower. As I think you suddenly have this feeling, this really, like, when someone is like looking at you, staring at you from across the room, and you can feel it. And as you turn, you can like see them looking at you, Auden.
Mm-hmm.
That is happening to you and the dragon.
Ugh.
So as you fling your ice spell across up the tower, right? You have this thing that it's focused on you. Like it's crawled up the spire up the spire, and it's like watching with intent now what's happening up here in the battlements.
Great. That's totally fine and cool.
I think I probably noticed the dragon now.
That's not done anything. It's just hanging onto one of the towers over there.
Well, Auden said there was a dragon earlier.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
pointed in a direction I couldn't see. Now that I'm out in the open.
Yeah, maybe you notice that it's like, wait, is it looking at me? Oh no, it's looking at Auden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you three do at this point?
We've got the tower. Do we have the tower? Let me make sure I understand. First of all, let me make sure the picture is correct in my head.
You're fighting for the tower.
Fighting for the tower, okay. So if I'm inside the tower, I probably have not yet seen the dragon.
No.
So I am inside, so if we're in there and just continuing to this is like a tower that connects to
next piece of the wall.
the next piece of the wall. Okay, so I got to get through it and onto the next piece of the wall, right? That's the theory. Is that how this works?
Or like take complete control of the tower. Because that will give you.
Okay. So for that, do we need to from here go up or down?
Up.
Up. Excellent.
Yeah.
So I am racing up so basically starting to get up the stairs once again, making another just sort of another push. I may have to leave someone down here to watch the so we're barring the door on the opposite side. Since we're not ready to go through there yet, we got to go up into the tower. So we got to make sure this is defensible and we can still hold it. So I have whoever's last will keep the door shut and make sure that we've still got a good flow. We've got more people now coming up since our siege ladders have been coming up. So yeah. So I'm going to lead the charge up the staircase up the stairs to the top of the tower, so we can deal with anyone who's in it.
Mm-hmm. So don't roll yet. That'll be another hack and slash. What are the other two of you doing in this situation? I mean, I kind of assume like, Sivna, you're at least partly directing more of the people coming over the battlements. Maybe like even trying to take the courtyard now, right? Like there's enough people, enough force that you're like, you've breached the walls, and there'll be now multiple places where fighting might happen.
Yeah, Gregor has taken the one tower.
Yeah.
I think I'm pulling people to go towards the other one. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Makes sense.
Are you joining them or are you doing something different?
I think I would be following Sivna's.
Or you want to talk to the dragon?
No.
Okay. Why not? Yeah. So taking the other tower then will also amount to a hack and slash.
Well, I was going to be shooting with my arrows.
I was going to be doing the same.
I guess, yeah, because Sivna's got like a short sword. Yeah, they draw that and start going at it, even though they're not very strong.
I mean, we can also play it that way if you want to. This is a different tactic.
No, it's fine. I almost like the sword better because it's getting into the thick of it, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here, right?
Yeah, they're just throwing themselves into it.
Yeah.
This isn't going to go well, just so everyone knows. Oh. Excellent. Yeah. So they're swinging and doing an okay job. Beating through kind of the wall of people. Roll damage. 2. Perfect.
And but it's a scrap up the tower, right? Fighting those. And so roll 2d6 and take the better of the 2 as damage.
5.
Nice. 5. Yeah.
Would you like the 5 or the 5?
Yeah.
Non, you're moving in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can I just like describe what it looks like when I take the damage? It's gonna be a little bit nasty, and I want to talk about
Yes,
it.
please.
Oh.
I think it's just that like I'm like moving and I go to like swing with my sword, and another blade catches it, and it like cuts through the skin. But the thing about it is like there's nothing underneath my skin, so it goes like straight down to the bone. So there's just like this like tear in like my flesh that's just like open and hollow, like cutting.
And like I don't know what the 2 are called. It gets caught briefly between
Oh, the radius and the
bones
ulnar.
that you can use. Yeah, that's like leaving like a scrape in the bone.
Yeah.
Pulled out again. Yeah. Nice. You've got like this piece of skin flapping about.
It's just like
underneath.
like an open gash where it's just like it's still attached on this end. It's still attached on this end. It's just like you could like stick your whole hand in there. It's like a hole in a bag around my bone. Yeah.
I mean, you just Auden, you just leveled up strength, right? So you can roll your hack and slash as well.
Is it effective?
I think it's a miss, right? So I think what happens here is you're not used to this. You're not used to battle and fights at all. So what happens is like, oh yeah, we should be moving in fighting. And then like some of the soldiers are already doing that. So you're kind of left in the, what's my place here? What am I supposed to do? And I think this is where you're like following up the stairs and like, oh no, they're fighting there. Should I? Oh no, they're coming from there, and you're like not part of any of the of these small little skirmish units moving about and doing something, right? So I think you're just lost on the winning side, in kind of a sense, right? You're not put in immediate danger. You just end up being standing like halfway up the stairs, and you're looking out through the window, and that's when the dragon takes to the air. Also mark experience.
I did. All right.
Yeah, the hack and slash of Gregor. You're taking that tower, right?
Ah, yes, that's right. I should probably do that. Let's see. Hack and slashery. Ah! Excellent. So shall I do damage again? You're muted.
Yeah, and tell me how you take the tower.
Okay, so the damage is total of 7 again, and I think we get up to the we get through. We hit the folks that are in the tower, the guards that are there. Again, just for some reason, Gregor seems to be enjoying doing this, just sort of passing by and like there's someone at the window, he just knocks them out of it. And,
we get the shot from outside of the tower, and like, you can see like how he's making up his way to the top by where someone's like thrown.
That's how you can tell. That's how you can tell where Gregor is in the tower. Is that if anyone's coming out a window, that's pretty much where he is.
I think the top of the towers are like these like they're not open. They're like they're kind of open, but they have this spindly roof actually on top of them.
Okay.
So I think as you come up and you take a look around and you take control of this tower, and I think because just you're dispatching the last few here, you already have other people pushing past into the next segment, and you look around and you can see over there Sivna on the other tower having taken that. So there's like this moment of eye contact between you two.
I just raise my axe in salute. After getting the last person off the tower.
Yeah, I don't see it because I'm still in the thick of it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, you're still fighting on the other tower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't made enough headway.
But this is when you, Gregor, notice like there's a dragon that's like taking into the air.
It's like, yeah. So, is this a like a? This is going to seem like a silly question, perhaps, but just to be certain, is this an undead dragon, or is this like a thing that is still somehow alive? As far as I can tell.
Yeah, sounds like you're studying it, right?
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, must take stock. The queen has a dragon. Okay, got to deal with that. So what is this? Did you say this was studying the ruins, or what is this?
I think it is.
Yeah. Ah, wisdom, excellent. I'm distracted while I study the ruins.
Yeah, because I think you're looking across. So you're looking across, right? And I think the thing you're seeing is, your forces have pushed into the courtyard, and what you can clearly see is the castle forces are pulling back into a more like to defend the inner core of the castle. That's becoming clear. That's how the battle is going. That's what you can notice. This thing that's caught your attention. Well, for one, it's like you still have. Well, here's what I'm going to say. This dragon is like pulling itself up into the air, right? And it's like hovering there, and and as you like take stock of what this place is looking like, those memories come rushing back in. And I want to hear from you. Well, what are those memories that come back that you were pushing back when you were in the crypt? And how are they connected to this dragon?
Yeah.
And then you're going to roll me recall a lost memory.
Okay.
But think about it for a moment.
Yeah.
I want to see how things are going with Sivna and Arden.
Just pushing our way to that big, beautiful tower, baby. I haven't noticed that the dragon has taken flight, so I'm gonna keep on swinging. Woohoo! And that's a hack and slash.
Yeah.
8. I deal my damage. Damage deals to me. Yeah. Let's roll damage, and we'll see how well I do. Hey, I do pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm.
You're getting into the swing of it.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've been a swords person. Yeah, but they're making good progress. I think the thing about the sword is that it's really small and like narrow and maneuverable. And so I'm like dashing in between people and, hitting them in their weak spots and then kicking them off the battlements when they're thrown off balance. That kind of thing. Instead of going through and just like lopping off limbs and stuff, I'm being clever about it and, sidestepping. Anyways.
I mean, you're using, you're also using that it's not you fighting alone. You're fighting with like this entire force behind you, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely part of it. So anytime you can like gang up on someone or make more headway by pushing them into one of you, the ones following you, and things like that.
Yeah.
Auden, are you following them up the stairs?
Yeah. She would be.
Shouting about there's a dragon. And it's coming, or it's at least taking flight?
No, she wouldn't be making like more noise than necessary.
Okay.
I mean, there's already like weapons against weapons.
Yeah. I mean, that's like kind of a point, right? These are the undead fighting undead. So it's a weird kind of battle noise. Like, it's not quiet. Like, there's lots of things breaking and bones breaking and...
Well, there's a difference between, like, a battle noise and be like, oh my god, look at the dragon. Like...
Yeah, no. Definitely. But there's also no one yelling or screaming from pain. So that's a decided difference that makes this an eerie kind of battle as well.
I have to roll damage against myself.
Yeah.
So that's 6 damage.
6. More scrapes and scraps, or what's this look like?
Like lacerations, yeah. I think that's kind of how the damage is being done, is in this kind of ribbony way. Where I'm being these cuts that just slice through the outer shell and exposing like the oddly shaped bones underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Bent out of shape.
And I think you fight your way up top, right? And it's a messy, scrappy fight. But you're winning through. And as you reach the top of the tower, you also can see that the dragon has taken up, but it's like hovering. It's not like diving or this is drawing its attention. And on the other side, you can basically see Gregor on top of the tower, standing there, probably arms spread open. Like you can see from here how he's heaving from the fight. He's like staring straight at the dragon. So I think let's hear about that memory.
Yeah, that's great. I am... Yeah. So, just out of curiosity, it's connected to this specific dragon, or Does that matter in particular?
Yes.
It is connected to this specific dragon. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that so we're gonna hook this up to Gregor's memory of being down there down in the catacombs in the first place as well, and to his family. So I think that all right, here we go. Depending on timing, right? I assume this. How old does this dragon look, by the way? Just I want to make sure this works with the fiction properly. Not that I mean, time being relative, we can make it whatever we want, but
it's a full-grown red dragon. It's one of blood and flesh.
Okay. So it seems to be living. Yes. Seems to be alive.
Yeah, as far as like a mythological, magical being is bound by that. But yeah. Okay.
Given that it can have been any amount of time since Gregor was young, here's what I think. When Gregor and his future wife were running around in that night, they got drunk and ended up in the catacombs underneath the castle. That is when they found the egg.
Yes.
It was actually someone had put it in his family tomb. He thought they were going to be quiet. It was going to be quiet there, and they could do whatever. It was either in or adjacent to it, and so they realized that they had kind of an additional responsibility that they had to deal with. In that this is. Yeah, this obviously wasn't a thing where it's like, oh, let's raise it ourselves, but that wasn't like what they set out to do. But
you don't also need to answer every question
Yeah.
if you don't want to yet. That's cool.
I think that he and his Gregor and his family, or at least Gregor and his, I have actually a crazy idea about this, but we'll see where it goes. That Gregor and his wife knew this dragon when it was very young. That dragon might actually be who he was reading to. Possibly.
Nice.
In that scene that we had never seen.
Yes. I love that. I think that's enough, unless you want to add if there's something that's important to you, because
I think that's quite enough.
I've been reading to a baby dragon is definitely enough for recall a lost memory. Yeah.
All right. I can't even find anything on my sheet anymore. I'm completely gone. Recall a lost memory. There it is. Yay. No.
Awesome.
Oh, well, that would have been so cool.
No, I mean, that's your memory.
That's my memory, yeah. No,
that is your memory. And I think...
Like, cinder?
Yeah, I think that's a perfect moment to end the session on.
We named it Cinder. Okay. That's what we called it anyway. I don't know. All right.
Okay. Then
Congratulations, Mr.
Yeah.
and Mrs. Gregor Paladin. It's a dragon.
Yay! Yay!
yeah. Oh, can do end of session here.
Yeah, let's do that.
Anyone resolve any bonds?
I am lost. I am forever lost.
I think mine with Auden will have changed because it's obvious that she doesn't care about my people.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I kind of love it that way.
Yeah.
It makes sense as her character. So I'm gonna have to think about how to resolve that. I should honestly stop deleting it when I change it so I can have a history of all my bonds, but
yeah.
I have not been doing that.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I used to archive my burning wheel beliefs. So I would actually have as the way they changed over time. Yeah, so that's an XP. Any other bonds? Any alignments?
My alignments.
Drives?
It's help someone or something to meaningfully change. Don't know if that happened. Unless you're very loosely interpreting.
It's talking about a castle, right? I don't.
Yeah, no. I mean, I punched out a really neat stained glass window, but don't think that counts.
Okay. Yeah.
I have under my alignment as destroy something corrupted by the fall. I don't know. Do we think that the troops of the enemy would fall into that category?
I think so.
Excellent.
Okay,
Then-
I came up with my new bond with Auden. And it says, Auden is selfish with her magic. I will show her what selflessness and sacrifice mean.
Try. And for sure try.
Well, we're not done with the siege yet, so
Yeah,
I
don't
can't-
say Rachel can try to make things sad.
Yeah.
It's usually a thing that comes to pass.
Yeah, it's good.
None of my stuff was resolved, and I need to come up with a new bond with Sibna.
Dibna's a bitch, and I hope that they die.
Everybody considers you noble. What's up with that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
New bond with it is just a picture of
I've
Sivna
never
with,
been nice to
crosses over the
anyone.
eyes.
I'm
I've
going to
never been
prove to them that I'm lowborn.
yeah.
We've got the group questions though. Did we destroy something corrupt and dangerous? I think I think it's clear that it's established that the castle as such has fallen, right? Even if core is still something that will be we need to see how that goes.
But we've got the battlements and the towers at least.
We
Yeah.
broke their absolute hold on the castle. I don't know if that's enough or not.
I think
Is it enough?
that counts. So that's an XP for everyone.
Yay.
Did we take, liberate, or create a powerful or useful treasure?
I think so. We have castle battlements.
I was more thinking you've got an axe.
I did
Very
get an axe
powerful
too.
axe.
That's true.
Yeah. And we, you
Awesome
just
axe.
gotta remember something about the axe to make it something special, right? I think that's definite possibility. So that's an XP for everyone.
Mhm.
Did we learn something important about the world before the fall?
Well, dragons are a thing that
Yeah.
exists.
That
I didn't know that. Sivna didn't know that.
There are dragons.
Sivna still isn't quite sure what a dragon is. Big. Flies.
Freestyle.
They haven't
Likes to
seen
be
that
read
yet.
children's stories.
Yeah, apparently, yes. Enjoys hearing stories about people going out and on quests. Does that count?
We've also learned that Auden isn't who Gregor thinks she is.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
It's this weird little house thing.
So 3 XP.
Yeah, XP for everyone.
Yay! I'm one away from leveling again.
Do we take a step toward building a new world in the ruins?
I would think so. You have to. You have to take stuff down before you can build it back up, right?
Yeah, I mean we're affecting the political landscape. We're at this point. I think we're taking a step toward taking the castle, so that seems to me like that could be what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then it's another XP for everyone. Lots of XP tonight.
Level.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm still a ways out, but then again, I am level 5, so get wrecked.
I will be 5 as soon as I have some time and I'm no longer staring at a dragon.
Very fun.
Yes.
So outros.
Yes, let's do that. Yeah, sorry. Yes, I kind of
You're distracted by the dragon.
I was a bit distracted by the dragon, and then learning that apparently I helped raise it. So yes, this was awesome. I'm so glad we got back to this. This is wonderful. We're going to once again go around and just say what we any other thoughts about the session, and then where folks can find us, and anything else we've got going on. I'm going to actually start with our GM, Mathias.
Hi, I'm Mathias. You can find me at MTHSBLGR on Twitter. And no, I love the session. Some actually straightforward stuff in some sense, but also some neat memories that were recalled. Yeah, thanks, Charlie, for for that. I got to introduce the dragon. Like, yeah, Spice, that we gotta have a dragon in here. Perfect.
And anything you want to promote, or where folks can find you?
There's actually nothing up ahead right next week or something. So nothing to promote. Let's promote, like, be good to other people.
Yes, let's always promote that. And now let us go on. Let's go on to Charlie.
Hi, I'm Charlie. Bye, I guess. You can find me on Twitter at Diet Cream Soda. It was a really fun session. Lots of big things gonna be happening soon in this game. Even bigger than today's session. That's all I got.
So much, so many things. And Rachel.
Hi everyone, I'm Rachel. You can find me on Twitter at r_omulus. You can find me on Twitch here on off_the_table this Tuesday at, we're going to be doing a big Urban Shadows finale session. So that's going to be starting pretty early, and I don't know what time that is, but it's a time. Yeah. And I'm also on Off the Table, hopefully next Saturday, schedules willing, playing Tales from the Loop. And then this Thursday, I will be on Katie Faye's channel at late-ish. I never know what time it is, playing Witch Quest, which is the exact tonal opposite of this game, in which we play little witches having adventures. And it's very good and sweet and wholesome. And that's where I am.
No weird skin
No.
lacerations. Okay.
It is very entertaining, though. It's
But way more yodeling.
yes, more yodeling. There is, in fact, yodeling. It's because of that game that I put a yodel command in here. It's absolutely necessary. Well, folks, that's this was delightful. I'm so glad we finally got to play this again after so long. I was kind of worried going in that we had lost momentum, but after this, I'm like, we gotta get there. We gotta keep going. So this is wonderful. Once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I've got links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and the most recent short story that I've released. Tomorrow morning, there's a video game playing going on. I'm playing Age of Mythology. But then tomorrow, early evening, we're continuing with our series of one-shots. I'm doing a series of Deadlands Noir one-shots called Tales of the Dust Bowl, which I'm setting out in the Dust Bowl region, so I'm sort of re-injecting a bit of the Western back into that noir horror setting to go Western noir horror. It's in many ways, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou with Monsters, and so it delights me to no end. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow evening. And then Tuesday night, I too will be over on Urban Shadows on Off the Table, as we have our grand finale. Things are spiraling horribly out of control soon, I expect, and I am there to ride to go on that ride all the way down to the bottom. So I'm very, very delighted to see where that's going to go.
Some doors need closing, right?
Some doors need closing. Some doors need some closing. So we got to do that. So yeah, got to take care of that. And that I think is at 7 Eastern. Is when that kicks off. Yeah, it's where I think they're just mashing everyone together, and we'll see what happens. On Wednesday, back on this channel, there is coming up RVR. That is Robot versus Robot, Robot Hamlet versus Robot Richard III. It is a hack of Lady Blackbird that I wrote. It is Shakespearean robots in space. It is delightfully bonkers. That is the mini campaign for this month. We're halfway through, so they're trying to make it to Jaquie's Bar and Grill, that station out there, which is perhaps about to be besieged. So there's a lot that's going to be going on there. Again, like I said, Friday afternoon and Saturday mornings, also I play video games. Then that is about it for the weekly schedule. This is an every other week thing, so we will hopefully, if all goes well, we'll try to be back here in 2 weeks to see what happens with this whole thing and this rather large problem that has suddenly appeared in the ruins of Lastlife. Large scaly problem.
Like you're not being like figurative with your language at all with that. Like it's literally a large problem.
It is quite literally a large problem. A large problem that enjoys listening to fairy tales. Mm-hmm. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Sign-ups are still open right now, technically, for the last session of Deadlands Noir. I actually did run into, I think, this one that's coming up tomorrow is full. But I might be able to squeeze one more person in, possibly, to the last one, maybe. I got to look at the sign-ups again to see what's going on, but then I also can still have sign-ups open for Codex Fantasia, which is the game coming at the end of the month, which is a Cypher System game in a setting I put together, a sort of fantastical enlightenment setting. As always, beginners are welcome. And that will be that. That's it. I don't think we're going to worry about rating or anything today, as much to do. So that's about it. Thank you so much for watching, folks. We actually played again! Yay! Take care, and we'll hopefully see you in a couple weeks. Farewell.
Bye.